What a year. Most of us will be glad to see the back of 2020. If anybody had said last Christmas what we are all in for, nobody would have believed them. But before it ends, I did want to take this opportunity as chair of the Oxford Diocesan Board of Education to thank you and all our school staff and governors, especially heads and chairs, for the amazing way in which you've risen to the challenges of this year. The last few months have shown everybody out there, in case there were any doubt, how vital our schools really are. They're often the linchpin of our villages and other communities. Our websites advertise our values, but it's crises that show up who we are and what we really value above all to the children we serve. Throughout this dreadful time, you've always put the children first. You've developed innovative, creative ways to reach them and their parents. You've put in special efforts to try and protect our most vulnerable children and households. It's meant long hours, creative imagination, unremitting hard work on the detail. Getting through this year has meant tricky, often misunderstood, thankless labour, adapting our buildings to purposes for which they were never designed. Some of the political noises off haven't exactly helped either, but you kept going. This crisis has shown up our system's failures and vulnerabilities. As educators, we have big questions to address in future about teaching and learning, exams, assessment, learning support, infrastructure, ICT. But for now, I just want you to know, going on all my experience of ODBE's interactions with over 300 schools in the Thames Valley this year, whom we serve one way or the other, you know it, but you have been amazing. This Christmas won't feel like any other, but I hope and pray it will bring some comfort and joy, along with time to rest and recharge and refresh with your closest family and friends. Now's the time to share with the people you love best, and remember always, as St. John tells us, the light shines on in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Happy Christmas. Every good wish for a new year to come. God bless.
Happy Christmas. I'm delighted to be able to put together this short message and obviously to lead on from what Bishop Allen has said, to wish you and your schools, your families and communities a very happy Christmas and a very happy 2021 as well. This time of year obviously is always a time for us to reflect, and obviously what a year we can reflect back on. And when I was reflecting recently, the poem that came to mind is that wonderful poem by T.S. Eliot, The Journey of the Magi. When I was an English teacher, I frequently used this poem at this time of the year. And it starts off in a very bleak way and reflects back upon a really arduous journey that the Magi have been on. Its opening lines read as follows: "A cold coming we had of it, just the worst time of the year, for a journey, and such a long journey, the ways deep and the weather sharp, the very dead of winter." Now the poem goes on to describe the perils and ardours of the journey, and in particular it talks about the way in which the camels are disagreeable, that the men that they're travelling with run off, and in essence they're not really quite sure what they're going to find. But of course we know, because we know the Christmas story, what they do find at the end of that very difficult and challenging journey is obviously the infant Jesus lying in the manger and the beginning of a new covenant and a new testament. Now we've had this year an incredibly difficult journey together. We've experienced some real challenges in terms of COVID-19 and the way in which obviously schools have reopened and closed, and we have to manage some really challenging situations. And throughout all of that time, I want to share with you how very proud and how very blessed I think we've been by the work that you've done as head teachers and chairs of governors in your schools. So now more than any other year, I want to wish you a very happy Christmas and hope that you get the break that you richly deserve, and to thank you, and may God's blessing go upon you. Thank you.